It's Wednesday, March 24th, and today we're going to talk about cinnamon sugar-covered shrimp. You're listening to Fight Knows About Everything, a Night Shift Radio original. For more information, visit nightshiftradio.com. Really. So today we're going to talk about a crazy internet story that is just kind of developed as of yesterday, or I think it started maybe on Monday. But a man found in his box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch shrimp tails in his box, and there's photo evidence of it, and the story outside of that gets way crazier. So let's jump in. So first off, the man in question is actually Jensen Karp. For those of you that grew up in the 90s might remember Jensen Karp as Hot Carl. That's Hot Carl. He was a kid rapper who was signed to Vanilla Ice's label back in the day, and he was basically a young white rapper at about the age of 11. He grew up in the industry, winning contests and stuff like that. He actually even wrote a book that says Kanye West owes me $300 and other true stories. But also notably, he married Danielle Fishel. This is yet another great 90s reference. If you remember the show Boy Meets World, Danielle Fishel played Topanga on that show, and then eventually on the show Girl Meets World, re-brought up her role as the wife of Ben. I don't even remember what his name. Corey. His name was Corey. That's probably right. So Corey and Topanga. Wow, what a show! Those are memories right there. But anyway, so this is a crazy story. So Jensen posted this photo. He has a handful of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and in it are 2 cinnamon sugar covered shrimp tails. I mean, they obviously have been baked inside of the cereal. Now, General Mills, the company that makes Cinnamon Toast Crunch, of course, responded right away on Twitter, being like, hey, this looks crazy. Would you be willing to send this in so we can, figure out what's going on? And we want to replace the box for you. And then he was like, yeah. So he sends them more photos, and they tweet back at them. And this is where the story goes absolutely off the rails. So they tweet back at them and say, upon further investigation, this shows to just be chunks of cinnamon sugar that look like shrimp tails, to which he responded, obviously, upon further investigation, this is 100% shrimp tails, you weirdos. The story just goes crazy from there. So not only is General Mills blatantly lying to this man that has found these things, that has allegedly found these things in his cereal, they just then went on this spree of no, you're wrong, which is really crazy. I mean, we all know Cinnamon Toast Crunch is the cereal you buy with the sole intent purpose of eating at 3 a.m. and ripping up the roof of your mouth. Everybody knows that's what Cinnamon Toast Crunch is for. I don't even think kids like Cinnamon Toast Crunch anymore. And first off, let's also talk about the fact that during Cinnamon Toast Crunch commercials, they openly show that their cereal basically are cannibals and eat each other. And we're supposed to be okay with that. I just want to talk about that. But anyway, so this is not the first time that General Mills has been in trouble for weird things inside of their cereal. So in 2009, General Mills contract manufacturer Indie Bake Products LLC took a shipment of Adkin blueberries that was contaminated with, you guessed it, shrimp pieces. The tainted blueberries were unsuitable for use in any General Mills product, much less the intended product of blueberries. The lawsuit said. So this was a lawsuit brought up. So this is crazy. So somewhere in the General Mills universe, there's just a crazy amount of shrimp that people are throwing into all of their products. Now, this is also not, there is way more to this story, but there's also way more to the whole idea of General Mills and things in their cereal that shouldn't belong. Just recently, this is very recent, within the past year or two, there is lawsuits pending that says that the breakfast cereal Cheerios has been found to contain trace amounts of a widely used herbicide called glyphosate, which is the main ingredient in the weed killer Roundup. Yeah. So Cinnamon Toast Crunch does not have found this, but Cheerios and 2 other brands, any of their oat-based cereals have found to have this glyphosate product in it that is used to basically kill weeds. So the fact that, General Mills obviously has some sort of ingredients problem. Now, crazy things in food happens all the time. And a lot of times it's very common and it's very understandable. As an example, there was the story not that long ago about a scorpion found in a live bunch of bananas. This is very common. Same thing with spiders and grapes. Spiders and grapes is something that happens all the time because spiders they get in between the things. Same thing with the bananas. They get in there, they build their little nests, their little cocoons, and then they get picked and shipped and sent all over the place. And then by the time you get it, you start pulling it apart. You have disturbed this little place where these bugs and insects have gone. But of course, there's been wild stories. There was actually another one that I'm surprised it didn't get more press, but I think it got like underground internet press, but it never really became a big deal, much like the coffee in the lap thing for McDonald's. But McDonald's had a string of condoms being found in their food, and not just in one area. This is like worldwide. There was this really weird, rare occurrence where condoms were found in burgers and fries and drinks and things like that. Like, it was happened tons of different times, over a string of like 3 years, where just people were randomly finding condoms in their McDonald's food. Absolutely crazy. Of course, again, we've heard of other things like, mice in canned food, which again, with these large canning facilities is very likely to happen, although very uncommon to come across. Things like that, it happens. I mean, it is what it is. Our food industry, it is what it is. But this story, the craziest part of this story is not so much the shrimp tails as much as the fact that General Mills is like, no, that's just cinnamon sugar. I don't know what you're talking about, even though it just coincidentally looks exactly like a shrimp tail. You should see the things of Jesus we have coming out of Lucky Charms. It's wild, So I don't know. I guess we'll see where this story goes. But Jensen Karp, I'm sorry that you found shrimp tails in your food. And also, can we just go on to mention that the man by the last name of Karp found sea animal product in his food, like carp, the fish, and then he found shrimp tails. Anyways, but thanks a lot for joining me, everyone. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell for all the brand new episodes. Brand new episodes come out Monday, Wednesday, with a weekly recap on Friday. And of course, Never Heard of It has a show on Thursday and Sunday, all on this channel. And then we have an upcoming animated series called Show 17 for Humans that is coming soon. For those of you listening on your podcast player of choice, thank you so much. Also, don't forget to subscribe. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, leave a rating and review. It's super duper helpful, and I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks a lot for joining me, everyone. And we will see you on Friday for our weekly recap.